This video is brought to you by SoccerPro.com. Be sure to visit SoccerPro.com for all the latest soccer gear at everyday low prices with no membership fees. Don't forget to use coupon code SR4U at checkout for $10 off a $75 purchase, plus free shipping within the US. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you another traction test. Today we're going to be comparing the Nike CTR360 Maestri 3 to the Adidas Predator LZ. Basically, the way that these traction tests work is that I run the shoes through a couple different drills at high speed, so a full sprint, and show them to you in the form of slow motion clips. Now, in these slow motion clips, you really can see how each of these two shoes are performing, but there are a couple things that I really want you to look out for. The first thing is the plant. Is there any kind of slippage once my foot is planted, or is the shoe pretty much stuck in the ground? The second thing is any kind of movement or rollover in the upper, because the more movement means you're going to have less stability when changing direction. And the third thing you should look out for is the amount of grass that's getting kicked up from the ground or dirt or anything like that, because the more dirt movement you see, the more the shoe is actually gripping into the surface of the ground. So just to give you guys a sense of how fast everything is happening, I'm going to show you guys a couple clips at full speed. Now that you have a better idea as to how fast this is actually happening, we'll move on to the slow motion clips and really analyze what's happening. The first drill here is a 10-yard sprint towards the camera into an immediate stop, followed by a 10-yard sprint into the opposite direction. So you can see on this particular test that the studs on the CTR360 Maestri really penetrate the ground easily, and that's mainly because they have a very small surface area. It really doesn't require much weight and effort for the studs to dig in. Whereas on the Predator LZ, they have a much larger surface area on the studs, so they don't dig in quite as easily, but the performance when it comes to this particular test was pretty even between the two. I didn't really find too much of a difference, other than maybe the Maestri 3's release from the ground a little bit quicker, but that's again mainly due to the studs being a little bit more narrow in profile in comparison to what you're going to get on the Predator LZ. The second test here is a 10-yard sprint parallel to the camera, making a 90-degree cut in just one single step right in front of it. So you can see how the shoes does have a little bit of rollover in the upper, but once you have your foot planted, it pretty much stays stuck into the ground, which is definitely a good thing. You do have that little bit of maneuverability as well because the inside studs are rounded off. Whereas on the Predator LZ, like I said, they don't penetrate the ground quite as easily, so you can see there is a little bit of slippage through the forefoot, but again, for the most part, you're pretty much planted in the ground, but again, you don't have as much maneuverability as to what you're going to get on the Maestri 3. The finals test here is a starting sprint from a standing position, and I'm just kind of trying to dig into the ground as much as possible, put all my weight on my right foot and push off and see what kind of movement I can get from the shoe, what kind of grip I'm getting. You can see the the Maestri 3s really dig into the ground nicely. It kicks up quite a bit of dirt, but you don't have as much push-off power once your studs are dug into the ground just because the blades are so narrow. When it comes to the Predator LZ, you will see that the studs don't dig in quite as much, but I feel like you can get a little bit more power at push-off just because the studs have a wider profile. So once they have dug into the ground, you're going to get more grip, but I feel like the Maestri 3 just digs into the ground a little bit more easily. So that's pretty much it as far as the slow motion clips go, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts and just let you know what I think of both stud patterns. So which stud pattern performs the best? Personally, I prefer the feel of the Nike CTR360 Maestri 3 stud pattern. You can see the studs themselves are a lot smaller. They don't have a very large surface area at all, and for that reason they really penetrate the ground well, which allows for plenty of grip when pushing off and of course planting your foot. Whereas the Predator LZ stud pattern has much larger surface areas on the studs, so they don't penetrate the ground as easily, but it still does feel very, very stable. Both of these shoes feature very flexible, low profile sole plates, so stability is not really going to be an issue here. It's just that I feel like the Maestri 3 penetrates the ground a little bit easier than the Predator LZ, and for that reason I feel it performs a little bit better as well. That's pretty much it as far as my traction test video between the Maestri 3 and the Predator LZ. If you guys want to check out any other traction test videos, I'll leave some annotations on screen. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel already and you did enjoy today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. If you guys want to follow me on any of the latest social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you can find links to all of those down below in the description. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.